Resurrection is not limited to icons, but unlimited to the life of our souls. We have all walked the dark nights when we thought we were in the right, and we have all walked in the light when we thought there was none. Oneness is underestimated because it covers far more than peace, love, happiness, and the trappings of dogmas. Oneness is to understand that all of the dark nights hold the same face and that everyone's pain is equivalent when weighed against their singular life experience. Oneness is releasing every possession which really had been possessing us all along. The old family gripes so easy to blame on another, the religions and icons forced on ancestors at the price of land and freedoms forsaken. The government conspiracies and royalty belied of the dark demagoguery of foolish human pride. The chains and the stains, the shames and the blames, that even if we're true, serve no purpose but to hide us from ourselves and each other. Divinity is always becoming, always on time, leading to the first and last, the end that begins. I am soul. How's it going, everybody? Before we start this Soulogy News broadcast, an alternative to what's being offered on the mainstream media and even on social media, let's just take a moment, if you will, and just become present, feel each other, feel what's happening. It's wild, it's strange, and it's even frightening at times. But there is the I am soul, or there is nothing. And the I am soul, those three words can be replaced with God or goddess or source or the universe. But I think we're all starting to understand that we are that. As crazy as it seems, as wild as it might seem, we are that in the flesh. And this is the ultimate opportunity in the multiverses, in this moment, in this timeless space, in this spaceless time. The top headline today is that fear programming is dead. The program of death has been put to rest. Because we've come to understand that in every single moment that we are awake, that we are conscious from this human vessel, every single moment is a choice, and this is not a cliche, between fear and love. Fear needs to be healed But we all know that the new earth in 5D, there is no such word as healing, because everything is in alignment. And the only thing keeping us from that is ourselves. The universe is perched on the edge of its seat, waiting to see how far we can take this. There is no level of success to be met, because we've already come to the understanding that we are that. And many, many people have come to the realization it's not about thinking or believing or even knowing. It's about being. Will we be influenced anymore by the things that are presented to us? The power of suggestion. And we don't have to look very far out there. Right now, this corona and all the sub-programs that it offers is just the latest face of the power of suggestion, the catalyst to bring us to ourselves and to practice what we preach and to walk the talk and to follow the guidance that we've all received on an individual basis. All you have to do is go back to 9/11 and look at the false flags that we've had over the last 20 years. And look at the lack of influence, the diminishing influence that they've had on us as time has gone on. Everything we know is falling away. Every teacher, every guru, every concept, every belief system, until we're left with just ourselves. And how does that translate into the human experience? It translates into the human experience when we, as responsible, conscious creators, make the choice in alignment with our heart. And there is only one heart, and there is only one soul, and there is only one. We have totally complicated in our journey. We have looked here and we've looked there, and always it comes back to us. And now people are feeling this all over the world. It's like a wildfire. This is the real virus. You see, fear and love grow the same way, by what we embrace and what we believe. We're being brought down to a level playing field where by force or by flow, we will find that there is only one choice. And that choice means stepping away and not choosing the programs, the suggestions that are being presented to us. There is no bad guy. There is no boogeyman. There is no one out to get us. So let's not get caught up in the story, that story, the external story. Let's get caught up in what brought us all here to this point in time. The expansion, the new expansion, the new awareness, the new power, love, courage, and grace and openness of the I Am Soul. The power of suggestion has been a part of our lives. Every single moment, things are being presented to us. And distraction is distraction. It doesn't matter if it's a corona or if it's your mother-in-law trying to get you to do something you don't want to do. Everybody will find themselves. We know this. And we've tried everything. And many things have helped us to get to this point, like Reiki and yoga and meditation and reading books and listening to lectures. But these things have been subordinated because these were products of a system of suggestive programming. You can call it duality. This is the age of Trinity. And in the age of Trinity, each thought, word, and action that we take has an equal measure to myself, to my brother and sister, and to the universe. This is the Jesus code. This is all the prophets and prophetesses' code. This is our code. And now we've been given all of this to expand it in the flesh. And look how far we've come. Look how far we've come. Look at all the suggestive programming that we have walked away from with unconditional love in our hearts. Jobs, relationships, homes, belief systems, religions, nationalism. All of these are products of the paradigm that we're leaving behind. We're in a new time. We're in a new space. There's a new math, a new geometry, a new language. And there is the ability to instantly transform at any time. We no longer have to fall back into our old patterns. We've received enough information to understand when we're doing that. And when we catch ourselves doing that, we can simply say no. See, what's happening is we're finding a higher and higher love and respect and honor and reverence for ourselves. And when that happens, we don't even have to try to have a higher level of honor, love, respect, and reverence for others, because it's an automatic thing. One of our big programs, one of our big sub-programs, and we all know this, has been being influenced into a state of misalignment by what others might think. We may seem insensitive. We may seem that we have less compassion than is suitable. But I'm here to tell you that unconditional love is a hard love to the human, but it's music to the soul. If we continue, including myself, to carry forward and allow these things to bring us out of alignment because we're concerned about what other people think, then we will continue to perpetuate the suggestive programming that is fear-based programming, that is death-based programming. The only thing that's dying here is death itself and the fear-based programming. The rules are different because the rules of the old paradigm were lawless and ruleless, and they weren't equal. But we're stepping away from that, and it's going to affect us to the nth degree. It's the same energy pattern every single time. We have a choice of fear. We have a choice of love. And I know that sounds like a cliche, and we've heard it for years. But to hear it and to say it is one thing. To think it, and from there to act on it is a whole different thing. This is embodiment. Embodiment is telling people what you think. Embodiment is respecting what they have to say openly and to take it in and then to move on down the road without looking back. There's no reason to look back. The past is gone. It's not even a part of us anymore. It's part of the program. If our past was rooted, no matter how great or how horrible it was rooted in the old paradigm. It was rooted in the suggestive programming, in this fear-based programming, in this caring what other people think. When we move forward in our own personal guidance and alignment from our heart, from the direction of the guidance that we receive from the you, me, we, and it. When we do that, this is the highest expression, the highest illumination, the highest frequency and vibration of unconditional love in the moment. I would rather be disliked now for being misunderstood, because I know that the best thing I can do for anyone is to be me and to speak my truth. And I encourage everyone to be you. If you don't want to do something, there's nothing to think about anymore. If you're not comfortable, find your comfort. Be true to yourself. To thine own self be true. All of us. This is for all of us. This is for me. I'm learning too. We are superheroes. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of hiding it. I will not accept anything less from myself. I will consciously and responsibly move forward. In honor of myself. And it's not for me only. This is the Trinity. It's for my brothers and sisters. It's for the universe. It's called give it a try. Because we've tried all the other stuff. Why do we want to be mired in the muck of polluted thought, of conversations in our head that have no relevance anymore? They don't, because they're rooted in the old paradigm. There is no conversation in our head to be had. There's the feeling. The heart is letting us know through our emotions. Fear programming is dead. Death programming is dead. Codependency is dead. Caring what other people think when you're aligned in your heart and doing the best you can, and you are the judge and jury of that. It's dead. By force or by flow, we're all coming to this point. The best thing I can offer is to do the best that I can, and is to be the best me that I can. And if my guidance says to put up a post, like I did today, which wasn't easy because I still had the program running in my head. What if I upset somebody? Corona's a presentation to teach us there's nothing to heal. Do you get it? It's changed the name Corona to anything you want to. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to heal. And as long as we continue to give energy to these sub-programs of the death and fear-based programming, we will continue to perpetuate in our own sphere of experience, in the essence that we are, those things which we all have the desire to move away from. I said this yesterday or the day before. Think about it. There's a reason it's called the 1%. And let me just say, this 1% is our beloved brothers and sisters playing a role. They actually think they're doing something right. But there's a reason they call it the 1%. If the 1% controls all the media, as we know, all the governments, as we know, all the religions, as we know, all the history, as we know, then bear in mind that every fucking thing you see out there is representative of 1%. The 99% doesn't get the press. That's why we're having this newscast. Because if this one can catch on like a contagion, somebody else will put theirs up, and then somebody else will put theirs up. We have a voice, and we are expanding and moving into higher levels of alignment by expanding our throat chakra. And we might think that only includes what comes out of our mouths, but it's what goes on here with ourselves in the conversation, the communion between us and the one. None of us should have to do anything or has to do anything that we don't want to. You can't tell me that we haven't all been enslaved by our own minds, by accepting things presented to us. We have a choice, and the choice is here, and it's now. The fruit is ripe, and it's hanging low on the tree of life. This morning I got up in bed for the 4th day, and I was totally off planets, not even the right description. And the guidance, the higher self, which is me, which is not outside of me anymore. I'm not going to look outside of it for me anymore. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to look outside of me for God or the goddess. I am all these things, all the galactic that facilitate this ascension, the elementals, everything. And I know that voice. And it said, turn on your phone while you're laying buck naked in bed and tell people what you're experiencing. I have no idea why. None. And I shared it. And what happens? People start to share their experience. It's the experience that will teach us. Even like Soul Speaks 5D. If you've noticed, and because I love you, I'm just going to be blunt and direct. No judgment, pure unconditional love. There are many, many, many platforms out there where you can go and market yourself, either overtly or covertly. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to happen on this one. We want to hear about the human experience, because it's not just a human experience. It's a multidimensional, awakened human experience that's raw and real. And there's so much code in there that it dwarfs what the sun's shooting down on this earth. We can learn from each other by being honest with each other. How the hell are we going to learn to respect ourselves? And how the hell are we going to learn to respect others if we're not allowed to expand this throat chakra with the infinite intelligence code coming in and that we're creating on this earth through our life experience? There's no solar flash. There is a creation flash. And this creation flash has occurred in more and more and more and more people every single day. We don't understand it. It feels weird and strange. It's affecting our lives in so many ways, and we have been given the gift and the signs and the omens and the prophecies that point to this time right now. There's no more waiting unless we want to. And each individual has that choice as to how fast and how far they want to go and what they want to say. It's all relevant. And it's all equal in a way that we can't understand. You see, we were thrown in this realm that has a level of free will like no other planet has ever seen. None. Every single person that has walked this earth has the biggest ovaries and the biggest balls in the universe. It took guts to come here. It took guts to jump into this pool, this thick density, this quicksand, and to work our way out. How did we all get to this point today? Look at all the stories on Soul Speaks 5D. Look at your own story. Look at all the times within the last few years, just as an example, since 2012. Look at all the times that you chose yourself. Look at all the dreams that you set out to achieve. Look at all the times that you picked yourself up when you fell. This is what the human hybrid soul species offers to the universe. It may seem like the most human thing. It may seem like the most mundane thing. It may seem like we're really small, but not anymore, because we're huge. We're giants. We're masters of the universe. And this is the real thing. 99%, we want to use this analogy, this metaphor, 99% of the consciousness in this world is you and I. And there's a 1% being projected that's diminishing every day, that's presenting itself not as the 99%, but as the 100%. And all we got to do is say no. Not necessarily, I'm not talking about, is there a virus, or do I take a jab and say no or not, or say yes? I'm talking about the whole thing. I'm talking about the entirety of what's been suggestively presented to us and that we have agreed to accept as reality. It's no longer has a hold on us. All the things that we have experienced, all the traumas, all the life experience, were code, was data, information, contrast, polarity, for us to find a wider and wider and wider 0-point field, soul highway. And in addition to that, all of the things that we've received from infinite intelligence, these skills, these abilities, these higher sensitivities, these past life memories, these future life progressions, these ET star family encounters, the paranormal, the elementals, all of these things no more identify us than the traumas that we've had. They were meant to provide code for us so that we would awaken and be aware and come into our own. It is the fold of the immortals. It's the fold of the I Am Soul. It is the new beginning, the new earth, the new universe, the new creation. We are the cosmic orgasm in the flesh, meaning that it's still going and it doesn't stop. This is how new universes are built. This is how higher truths are attained. The universe never stops. It just keeps going. Now, if we have the desire, which we do, to align with that which the universe is, that which made us, that which we are made in the image of, then wouldn't it make sense to emulate that? To be open, to continue to add frequencies to an ever-expanding vibration by an open-mindedness. You see, all of the things that are presented to us come from what we created to provide us a catalyst for this moment. I would say be brave, be courageous, be open. But I feel a little silly saying that. You know why? Because I am brave, and because you are brave. Look at the story of the human. It never stops. It always comes back, always gets up. Revolution revolution, saying no, it's in every single step the human hybrid soul has taken, individually and collectively. Let's have faith. To trust and believe, the transitive verb. Let's align with the energetic rhythms and patterns and epiphanies and revelations that we have followed on an individual basis to get this to this point. How do we measure our level of alignment, so to speak? How many victims do you think are in this world? I may not think I'm a victim, but if I think someone else is, then I'm perpetuating victim consciousness, and I'm that much out of balance. You see, there's a difference between earth love and what we know is divine love. And there's also a difference between the earth interpretation and definition of compassion and sensitivity and that of divine compassion and divine sensitivity. So if I have concern for what other people think about my aligned in the moment projection of my thought, my words, my action, then I am feeding victim consciousness because I'm believing that if I speak or I act, I will make them a victim. We're drilling down to the nth degree now, to the very, very minimal, minutia, the finer points, the electrons and protons and nuclei in our cells. Because the rules, the universal law applies anywhere and everywhere, no matter what timeline or dimension. We have a golden opportunity. We have the highest potential, and you only get one chance to do it right the first time. You only get one first time, and this is the first time. Let me say this again. If we are concerned about what other people will think, and we alter our essence and we alter our alignment, that's victim consciousness. That's victim consciousness. Because why would I not do what I'm guided to do? Why would I not do what feels right? And why would I not share that with you? How are we going to learn to respect ourselves and each other if we don't try something new? And the only thing we haven't tried is thine own self be true. There was a survey taken a few years ago in a hospice, and the nurses asked the people that were transitioning, what would you change? And the number one answer was essentially, to thine own self be true. I would have done things for me instead of doing what everyone else told me I should do. Why wouldn't we do what we're in alignment with? Why wouldn't we be with who we love? Why wouldn't we live where we want? Why wouldn't we have a passion, what we call a job or vocation, unless it's what we wanted to do? Because somebody or something said differently and we believed them. So what's the difference between that and someone saying you got to pay taxes, or someone saying you got to buy this property or take out a mortgage, or someone saying there's a virus that's what, less than 1% fatality that we now got to take a third shot for? And I'm not advocating taking a shot or not taking a shot. I'm not advocating to believe this or believe that. All I'm trying to say is this: whatever it is, you know in your heart, and I know in my heart, what is the highest alignment. I know that for myself, and you do too. And this is the time to walk the talk. This is the time to be the brave that we are, to be the courage and the love and the respect and the honor and the open-mindedness, the open conduit that we are. We don't have to half-ass this, because it's an all or nothing proposition. Own it, bone it, be it. What more could we ask for than the keys to the kingdom? When the keys to the kingdom are simply being who we are. It's the easiest thing in the world, in the universe, to be what you are. Do you think that which we're made in the image of ever isn't what they are? You know what I mean? Why are we any different? The subtlety of victim consciousness is has been a lot more difficult to detect than fear-based programming. Okay? Fear-based programming many times is very obvious, and we've learned this. That's why I was talking about the false frequency, because the false flag frequency, because we're not buying it anymore. That's why you don't see these shootings, and they're all over the paper, and because digital warriors had videos and showed that it was a bunch of bullshit, and there was actors, and we could go down the list for these different examples, but the bottom line is, it was in our face, and we figured it out. Victim consciousness is a little bit more different. It's in every breath, it's in every word, it's in every action. And how do we detect it? Well, I don't know if it's the end-all cure-all, but I know one thing. If I don't speak, if I don't honor my thoughts, if I don't take action because I'm worried about what somebody else will think or what somebody else will do to me, then I'm in victim consciousness. And what's one of the things that the 99% is conscious of? We want a harmonious world, a harmonious experience, and a harmonious life. So, having said that, how can I serve you? How can I best serve you? By serving myself. And we think it's go out and start a universal network with multiple channels. It's handheld accessible. That's my program. Or we think it's go out and create a website, or go out and build this, or do that, or do this. And what I'm trying to say is, it's in the little things. It's in every choice that I make all day long, every day. There's nothing else to talk about anymore. We understand and we're aware of these programs, and we can sit around and hash it out and talk about it for days and days and days, as we have, or we can take action. We can say no. We can say yes. We can say I like this or I don't like this. And most of all, we can bring our thoughts, words, and actions into alignment with ourselves, because we're not what we see. We're energy. We're frequency. We're amplification. We're a signal. This is the best thing we can do, not just for ourselves and each other, but the universe. And it's in the little things. It's in the things that people don't see in each other. It's in the little things, in the little decisions. Somebody says, can you take out the trash for me? And for whatever reason, And whatever it is, you say no. Now, we used to say yes, and we felt out of alignment. It's the little things that make the big things. We all know that the universe teaches in a paradoxical manner, and we also know that everything is inverse here. Everything is upside down. And you see a lot of this in a codependent field where people want, hey, come over here with me, come over here with me, you know. That saying, build it and they will come. You know why that works? Because it's in alignment with self and the universe, and it's in alignment. In that alignment, there is that faith, the transitive verb to trust and believe. That's right. No more victims. No more waiting. It's here. And the fruit is hanging. It's ripe. It's low on the tree. And it's ready. All we got to do is pick it. And as these days go on and people start to make these choices for self in the moment by moment experience of their life, you're going to see a change. We're all going to see a change, an immediate change of epic proportions. And that's the universe speaking, not Todd. So, thank you for sharing space with me. Thank you for your continued love and support and contributions. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but tomorrow doesn't exist. I just know how I feel right now. Excited, proud. I feel love. I feel clarity. I feel truth. I feel trust. And I'm not talking about just me. I'm talking about the whole thing, which means all of us. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to share, light language, artistic expressions, stories, books, meals that you cook, feelings that you have, do it. Because the only way we're going to find and continue to find, as we've found, higher and higher levels of awareness, alignment, love for self, respect, honor, reverence, courage, wisdom, is by trying. So, do you think, because it's all energy, do you think that there's not an energetic reality or energetic signal that comes from something like being isolated in your home, not being allowed to move? Yes. And whether it's that specific sub-program of a quarantine or a curfew, or it's another energetic sub-program or template from this old paradigm, it still has suppression. It still has constriction. It could be so many things. It could be your boss. It could be another individual trying to control you. It could be a lot of things. So there's only one. Every moment, there's only one choice. It's me. What aligns with me? Somebody calls me on the phone. I don't want to talk to him. It's nothing personal. I just push off. Somebody sends me a message. I don't want to answer it. I just push delete. I have my own reasons. I don't need to explain it to anybody, and you don't need to explain yours to me. I'm sure that you have a good reason, and I'm sure, and I know that I do, because I only know me. Our friend from Puerto Rico, Taino, he said, all the woo-woo, in so many words, I'm going to paraphrase, he said, all the woo-woo has become irrelevant. Everything has become irrelevant. The traumas have become irrelevant. Why? Because we're at a point now, a point that we've worked our asses off to get to, the point of liftoff. And what does that look like to the human? The human is the hero. What does that look like? What it looks like is what he said. One of the characteristics of what we're creating is to fall in love with humanity. Every single piece of it, because it is a gift from the gods, literally. And it is an honor to be here. We earned it, but we were chosen. And we all know there's billions and billions and billions of souls waiting to come here. I want to thank you all for sharing space with me. And I look forward to many, many more collaborations and observing and watching all of us grow. Speak up, be you, scream it loud, stand tall, and keep shining. I'm wishing you all your own peace, power, protection, and big ass love from Soulogy. Peace out.